Greetings, everyone. This is Joanna from Heavenly Radiance, Universal Love Light, and Sacred Corner. I have just no memory lately. I'm going through, as always, continuous activations. Thank you to my holy teams and my multidimensional teams that are adjusting me, preparing me for greater divine union and greater heavenly work. We've already created sacred spaces always. Every time that you join us here on the Sacred Corner, we meditate and create divine universal consciousness within all that we are and all that we do, calling in the universal heavens and our healing teams now and future now moments, so that every time you listen to it, you receive new abundance, new activations, new information and wisdoms that are specific to you and your holiness as all that you are coded with as the divine Christic being. And we wanted to do a very special shamanic story today, as we're creating shamanic stories with all of our metaphysical tools and cards through the Gaia wisdom, the Gaia information, the fairies, the pixies, on this beautiful 22nd day of April, the 22nd day of April, which equals a number 444, which again is beautiful for the energies of the Taurus new moon tomorrow. New moon or full moon? It's a new moon. And the new moon is allowing us to create the new beginnings and the new invocations and initiations of what we choose to experience as ever awakening, omnipresent, universal beings of holy light. And being a Taurus, it's, we have these general traits, if you will, based on where we were born and the celestial alignments that we chose at our birth, into the minute of our birth. But many of us are really steadfast in persevering in our commitment and our devotion, really loyal into all that we put our hearts into, which serves us, especially when we're manifesting and choosing to co-create divine, grand goals with the Creator. Knowing that we are not the only ones in our co-creation, and a part of the human evolution is to allow ourselves to truly step outside of all that the ego has allowed us to co-create, honoring it and appreciating it, but knowing that our ego can now surrender into the spirit and the soul and know that we are a co-creative unity and a co-creative family of all of our blessings, of all that we are together as a family. Allowing ourselves to radiate love and oneness and compassion, the perseverance to lift each other up through the cycles of ascension that we all move through, to know that you do have a soul family here, you do have a soul tribe, that we are all here to empower one another, to inspire one another, and allow ourselves to experience new. Every moment is a changing moment in our soul's journey and evolution, individually and as a collective. But these energies are really, really special for us to take part in those understandings of what are our now values. Taurus energies and these spring energies are really about us to co-create those new foundations, what's new for us. What are the foundations of who we are within the family tree of the universal family tree? Awakening to our universality. What are the values and what are the important truths that allow us to create a new foundation, new reality? And so we are co-creating that fifth dimensional template right now, and why it's so important that we allow ourselves to come forward and express our creative imaginings and our creative musings, freely express who we are with authenticity, to freely express who we are within the exploration and our excitement. That allows us to really lay the foundation that is purely aligned with the values of love and oneness and valuing all life, honoring all life. Each person is a unique puzzle piece that allows us to truly co-create a new beautiful story with Gaia. Today is also Earth Day. So beautiful energies this week we're spiraling within. And 444 are laying those foundations, the pivotal foundations and the four corners that create the stability, that anchor those energies, those intentions and initiations for yourself. So if you can, allow yourself to really tune into the cycles of our entire universal cosmic galactic presence of the sun and the moon and the planets, and where you're aligned within your own birth chart, and how all planetary energies, all universal energies assist us in our ascension, in our evolution and awakening, because there is nothing separate from us. All has purposeful meaning, all has divine elegance in who we are as beings of light, and why you're magnetized and and feeling yourselves attracted to any one thing at any one time. So just know that, trust what you're being attracted to and guided to. So we'd like to create the shamanic stories with many of the cards that we've got. And we've got our beautiful sacred cards that we usually deal with. The Sacred Destiny by Denise Lynn. And of course, my favorite deck on the Wildwood Tarot, one of my favorite decks. It really allows the energies of Gaia to come forward. And the beautiful wisdom of the Tree Oracle, the Shaman's Oracle, and the beautiful Lightwork Oracle. So I think those are the decks we'll deal with. We also have the Lenormand Fairy deck that we'll also call in. So allow yourselves to relax and let's begin our story. And we're also going to talk with our fairies today. And so we're calling in the consciousness of Gaia. We're calling in the fifth dimensional templates of Gaia, the Elohim creator gods of Gaia, and all multidimensional timelines and all multidimensional light frequencies of the Holy Christ that we are as the divine holy beings, our highest universal omnipresent energies, calling forth the fairy, the shamans, the inner and outer earth shamans. We call forward the sacred energies of our sacred space, all over our planet, within and without, our galaxy that are aligning us in our multidimensional allness, bringing forward and activating our gifts and our skills that we know of who we are to be, the elements of earth, the elements of the heavens, and all that we are is spirit consciousness in human form. We are the embodiment of the highest light. We are the embodiment of our highest truth. We are the embodiment of the highest wisdoms being activated in this moment so be it. We call upon the angels and the energies of the highest light frequencies, assisting us in this activation and in this beautiful shamanic story, so that each person be taking away the information and the wisdoms that they know within their highest truth, so that they be activated in their highest truth to align with their highest destiny in service of the greater good, in service of all light programs and the holy beings of the highest light. Amen. And we thank you, Gaia. We thank the Mother Mula. We thank Mother and Father, Holy creators of all that is, all energies of beautiful joy and happiness that bring us the brilliance of all that we are. We are so grateful and so thankful for all of our healing teams, our celestial teams. And I look so forward to our on and off world contact. I look forward to the universal oneness that we can co-create as a human collective. I look forward to the alignment and the radiations that we allow our children collective and our aged collection and all of our ancestries to be raised to a higher vibrational awareness and acknowledgement of who they have been within our awakening and who they are within our awakening as their ancestors step forward now. We welcome the highest rainbow light masters. We call forward the ascended masters. We call forward the angels of sound and tone and the Holy Mother and the Holy Father, the Christ collective. Our brothers and sisters of holy light that surround us in this sacred space. We call in the highest energies of nature and wildlife and the animals. We call forward all of those beings that assist us in this awakening. Amen. Oh, Sylvanus. She's a beautiful fairy. Let's see if these. We've got some wolf calls. Nature wolf calls there. I think that's wolf. Yeah. No, that Puka, love this card. It's so beautiful. It's kind of matching my outfit today. Thank you, fairies. Thank you, fairies. Oh, Pook doesn't want to stand up. Come on, Pook. Come on, Pook. And I'm so happy to celebrate my birthday in a couple of days. It's been a wild ride this year. It's probably been one of the toughest years of my life this past year. My 50th year was the most challenging, profoundly expansive in how I've learned and how I've grown. And at the bottom of this one is the Dance of the Pixies, which we had this last time. And these are just playful, lovely beings. So I'm going to put those aside. So thank you to the beautiful Gaia, beautiful Earth. And we're going to pull out our shaman oracles. And so I've been really reflecting and doing a life review, rewriting my past, so that all of those stories that I found were challenging and those stories that I found most difficult to accept as blessings, now rewriting the past and knowing that they have been the sacred honor of who I am, to garner and gather all my strength, to garner and gather all that I am as a being, and really truly honor it with the radiance of who I am, and really fall in love with the story of who I am. So that's going to be my intention for my year ahead, is to truly explore and express myself in new ways, through deepening my self-love of me as the Christic being that I am, to look more deeply into that self-love story as a joyful, really moving in joy, you know, loving myself at all moments as joy, experiencing in every moment as joy, and truly allowing that joy to live through me, releasing, as Taurus, many Taurus beings, releasing those energies that we have within us about expectations and you know, energizing outcomes, if you will, and just flowing with love. So I'm going to call our shaman oracles today. Dancer of frustration, and we always need that kind of friction that allows us to say, hey, is that really necessary? Do you have to be? What is that frustration all about? And frustration is, again, that ego expectation. Does it have to be this way, or is there another way that you could just allow it to flow? So that card of frustration came out as I was talking about when I was challenging her. So I'm turning the corner. This is my turning my corner. It's been amazing, obviously, because all frustrations and all friction allows us to see the depth of who we are and come forward. But I absolutely, I'm very humbled, and I don't take all credit for anything. It's my teams. I absolutely can feel them and know them in every second, and I call them in and initiate in ceremony with them every moment that I can to assist me. And I'm being held so gently and softly with the Divine Mother and Father through these transitions, and I'm so very blessed. And as I said that, what pops out? The Dancer of Promise. It's one of my favorite cards. And this one popped out. Ooh, Dancer of Beginnings. We were just talking about that. So thank you, shamans. Oh, and on the bottom of the deck, there's Dancer of Inspiration. And I think we're gonna pull, well, let's do the fairies. And so yeah, so think about and muse what this spring, you know, we're already in the energies of spring. You know, how can you plant the seeds of prosperity? How can you seed this, sow the seeds of your own radiance and what that means for you? We're talking about stability and new beginnings. And how can your life, especially with what our collective has been moving through and releasing the fears of what we thought we were, who we thought we were, how can you create new values and new integrity, new truths for you that are more stable and aligned with pure love? They're aligned with your pure infinite essence of who you are as source. How can those foundations of the infinite be a part of your new seeding, of your new beginning? And, you know, especially with beautiful is a really strong portal tomorrow in the new moon of Taurus, so that all of humanity has been given this time of suspension so that we can really think about the awakening at the heart level and creating new foundational truths of what's really important. What are our values now, and how can we create those moments of altruism that serve us? Altruistic, societal energies that serve everybody. I'm going to pull one more fairy. It's a beautiful part. Thank you. Oh, and on the bottom we have number 4, foundations. There's no accidents. And this is all about the home, the foundations of the home. And again, stability for each and every one of us. As Earth Day 444, the stability is magnified by its tripling effect, is allowing us to honor the importance of Gaia, the foundation of our home of Gaia, not just the foundation within the walls that we have as our home, but what are our new inspirations and values of Gaia, the foundation that we hold with one another, and how may we honor her in a greater openness and a greater service for all that she's done for us and served us, and how can we put at peace our past wounds? How can we put to peace family, past struggles with family, because that's 4 is about the home and the family. Really releasing outdated, stifling traditions and open them up to new beginnings. One can still honor the foundations of tradition, but allow them to be more open and honoring and accepting of all peoples, of all life, especially Gaia, the home that we have with her. Because ultimately our life would not exist without her. She supports us in medicinal properties. She assists us with our body, the magnetizing energies within the galaxy. Ocean, I mean, it's obviously the importance of our home of Gaia is beyond words. Wow, I love these cards. I love these cards. So cool too from that. Thank you, World Good Tarot. And on the bottom, we have the Guardian. The Guardian is, see how he's at the gateway. He's at the portal. And to go through that, you must release and let go of the death. You know, that's the death, the cycle of death. You know, which there's nothing to fear, and you know, I have anxiety about. That's what the cycles and the seasons allow us to co-create. Letting go of our fears and anxiety, and knowing that we're always creating in abundance. We're always creating with the alchemy of the new. It's a beautiful green woman. That's the power that we have, of all that we are, to co-create in new ways and release the anxieties and fears about what we thought were hindering us and holding us back. And we're gonna pull, I think we'll pull, let's pull an animal oracle. All the animals. And we'll pull it there. We just might do another recording because I've got so many cards to share. And so allow yourself in the coming years, in the coming months, in the coming weeks, is to truly awaken the importance that each of us have with our communities, our homes. Maybe rewriting the values that have been bringing themselves up for your notice, for your attention, to be rewritten. And we all know it as keepers of our own home, and the energies that we hold within our homes. We may have always done things, but it doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't really serve anymore. You know, we found that with the season at Christmas time, because we're eating really less and less meats. I've been vegan for a while, but mostly vegan, 90% vegan, and just really changing our dietary energies. And what we used to have as a tradition as a seasonal dinner at holiday season is now changed greatly and dramatically. So how can we change it and everyone be okay with it? The new cycling of change, spending more time together and honoring one another through experiences rather than expensive, not unnecessary, material overdrive. So that's been a real key thing for me, is just educating and inspiring the kids to look at the ways that we've interacted as tradition in the past, and see it in a new way to create more oneness and unity and entanglement that's more serving of how we all are. So allowing those traditions to slip and move and be changed and shifted so that it's in alignment with our oneness of all in new value system. Okay, animal oracles. What animals want to come with us in this shamanic story today? So right now I'm seeing, maybe it's because of the water. I'm seeing the water sounds. And what's coming to me right now is a seal. And the seal is just reminding me of, it's showing me how easily we can slip in and out of energies of play and joyful interlude with nature. And the dolphins are now coming in to say, we often forget, because we've held so fast to our traditions, that it's not fun anymore. And we should only be seeking, through our hearts of joy and excitement, and how easy it is, just like slipping in and out of the water, as the seals show us how quick and easy it is just to dive in and let go, and allow it to be fun. So thank you. the rabbit. Now is a lucky time. We're going to pull out one more. Oh, I love bats. This is beautiful. The rebirth is assured. I always get, when I do my animal cards, I always get the bats when I'm going through a big transformation. And my birthday is coming up in a couple of days, so I'm not surprised at all. They came up to me twice today. And so thank you for being with us, and I honor you, and I appreciate you, and I value you, and know that you've got infinite teams and the angels and the many collectives that are with you and your guides. You know, it's the energies that are coming in. And this is our Sacred Destiny deck by Denise Lynn. Thank you, our Mother Earth, and we thank you so much, and we honor you in all the ways that you sing to us and you support us, and we are so grateful for you in many times and timelines that we've held with you, and we offer you this humbled opportunity for allowance, and here we are as ever becoming oneness with our universal omnipresence. So we've got some Arcturians tuning in right now, and they're saying that, so I see this one being on a light ship wearing a beautiful blue cloak, long blue cloak. I don't know the color of this blue. It's kind of a darker, richer color than this, and it's kind of like a frosty gray. I'm just seeing it be frosty gray over top. And they're saying that that Gaia has a song for each of us. And that's beautiful. It's a vibrational song that she each has with each of us. That song, just as Source Creator has a song for each of us. So in all of our explorations with nature and with Gaia, we have the songs of all that is to come forward and begin co-creating with her. So we've often said there are activations of light language and sound and healing. So feel free, we've got a class coming up on May 11th for those of you that like to join us. I'm doing a class on healing the mental body. So we're going to do a prayer and initiation, and we're going to do light language and activations to assist in healing the mental body through negative thought forms, understanding what they are, how to transcend them. And we'll go into a healing temple in the multidimensional realms and have the angels assist us. And this one wants to come forward. One of my favorite cards. And so feel free to join us. That'll be posted probably today on May 11th, which is a Monday. And it's going to be at 2:22 to 3:33 Mountain Standard Time. And then we also offer private readings and prayers, sacred song, and sacred toning classes, which is a master class. It's held once a month on the first Saturday of every month. I think it's Saturday. And we talk about the, we call in the councils and the groups for sacred sound and tone and healing. And they help us understand sound and healing within our co-creations with Source Creator, our planet, and all that we are moving through it in far as our multidimensional healings. Oh my gosh. Miracles. Can't make this stuff up. Going forward. And miracles. Many miracles are being blessed now. So thank you. Thank you. And so we'll get started. Thank you, Divine and Holy Gaia. Anybody remember which one came out first? Sylvania. So what's coming forward right now is the beautiful elegance between, I don't know if you can see it, maybe we'll bring this closer. The elegance between how I'm seeing this is the keepers of the heavens and our guides and our angels, the collective that we hold that guide us, you know, our higher self, our oversouls, and all the teams that assist us. And here is a representation of any one of us at any one time, and the energies that are always with us, supporting us with Gaia, that we see and we don't see. It's awakening into our awareness level. But this person, and I'll just use the representation of me, this person has come to a pause in what our collective is moving through right now. So this is a moment of pause, and she's holding the sword of her truth. She's holding the sword of her ambitions through her sojourns, if you will. we claim we claim the staff of our wisdom, the sword of our truth, because our truths are always changing as we are. We're always carving new ways that we can perceive ourselves, perceive our reality. And to do that, we have to traverse through the thickest, densest co-creations of what our mind has created as obstacles and fears and anxieties and worries. But you see, the very center of this experience is showing the light that's always been guiding her. The light that she's projected to say, I'm taking this time for reflection now, and I've gained my wisdom, I've gained my authority through my sojourns, and I've allowed myself to carve myself into truth. And where will this take me now? This is a beautiful little heavenly angel that is with her in the mask of illusion, if you will, and then the heavenly keepers. And you look at her, just look at her face. And this is how I feel with my teams and my guides and the Holy Mother. The Holy Mother is this representation in the middle and all that's within the picture. And this is the masks that sometimes elude us. You see this keeper of the heaven is holding this mask. And these are the masks that we've unveiled within ourselves, because the heavens are showing us that they will allow us to co-create whatever it is we want. We're the ones that are creating the illusions. We're the ones that are creating the hurdles and the posts and the gates that we have to walk through. What illusions and what fears are you holding for yourself now? And the Holy Mother in the center says, I've given you birth, I've given you all life. Are you ready to walk through this gate? This is your final fear that you must walk through to achieve your place within your next majesty of heaven. Because as we talked about in our article yesterday, that in every new level that we're allowing ourselves to stand upon, there's going to be new activations of our gifts, of our wisdoms. The majesties of the heavens is our claiming of our traversing through density, through illusions, and releasing one by one what no longer serves. And so you can just tell the energies in the stories in this picture are profound. And she's got her eyes closed and she's tuning in. She's tuning in. And what's coming to me right now with these beings here are, so 3 depictions. These beings here are the energies that she's traversed and let go of. And they could have been minor or they could have been major. Self-inflicting wounds, notions, beliefs. And she's allowing herself to say, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I can really transmute you to be the friend which we're always working within, the shadow energies and the inner childs that have wanted us to come in and accept and claim and own and honor, to transmute them into alchemic friends and foes, alliances that assist us in saying, you've served me so well. I've allowed myself not to be so fearful of those energies that have always been a part of me, that are allowing myself to stand stronger and more pure in who I am, in the forgiveness and compassion of who I've been along my infinite journey with Source. I didn't need to create those, but I'm allowing myself to honor the fact that I did for the lessons that I've earned in this now moment. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to reflect. And you just see her face. She's so peaceful in that reflection. She's honoring this. You see how she's got that sword there, and it's got a light on top of that sword. She's honoring everything that she's been through, and she's understanding that she's had to forgive herself. She's had to have great compassion for everyone and everything along the path without judgment. We don't get to that place until we have judgment. We don't get to that place until we do judge ourselves, all the things that we have. That's why this mask is so big. The mask that is her illusion for her to face and for her to say, okay, you can put down the mask now, I'm ready to step forward. And the Holy Mother steps aside and blesses her. Once again, she's coming through the gates. She says, okay, I understand now. But this is what happens and this is just through my own experience and what I've experienced through initiations and ceremonies and rising to new levels of vibrational energies and experiences, the majesty of the heaven, if you will, that we're given this time and we're given moments of reflection, and your team will give you, however long you need. But my teams usually, prepare me a couple of weeks before, and they say, give yourself a life review. Allow yourself to truly reflect upon what has worked and what didn't work. What did you hold within yourself to be valued and true? What did you allow yourself to truly let go and be joyful of? Because the soulful journey is one of self-joy and self-love and expression. And how can we allow those lessons to truly be learned before we release them and let them go, and truly honor them. It's about that self-honor, the journey that you've had, and to be proud and stand strong within it, because that's how you gain your power. You can think that it's a race, but it absolutely isn't, because you'll be missing the sacredness of the ride that you're within. And that's why we're always given these moments of reflection, because they showed me a long time ago, and this is why I've offered it and I've taught it, that it's a sacred journey. It can't be rushed. It can't be. You can't rush spirit. You can't rush your transformation of density to spirit. It will take whatever it takes. It's not an A to Z process. And there's many experiences and sojourns every moment. Can you sit with your staff of wisdom and intelligence and honor and truly call it sacred? Feel it being sacred. Feel yourself being sacred on every step of the way, every breath. And it should be, because it's you in source. It's you throughout the all. Can't be rushed. It's a beautiful card. I love that card. Thank you. And we've got Pook. Because when you do allow yourself to honor the ride, you see this beautiful energy of Pook. And this Pook is just sitting there in great silence, great power. And I love this card. You see that this, to me, is an energy spirit through the awakening of nature and sound, because these are the vibrational tendrils and the energies that come with our galactic awakening. We have our galactic third eye here and our third eye here, and this galactic third eye vibrates right at the crown of your, right where your hairline starts, and the galactic ears start to pulsate and ring, and you get these downloads of sounds and tones and magnetic sounds and the sounds of earth with your teams and the elementals and all that is nature activating. And this is what the galactic sounds sound like. So this is an elemental pixie being that has come forward to say that I'm now awakening aspects of myself. And you can see these are the subtle bodies. The beautiful outline of the bodies, the subtle bodies that say this is okay, that's not okay. And these are the activations in the fields that you can see that they get activated. It's a very beautiful light field. And that's our intuit awakening, that through our journeys, we're going to step up into new aspects of who we are, and our bodies are going to turn on and become more refined. And we're going to have these fields around us that can allow us to tap into things at such a subtle and minute level that allow us to remember our oneness within the nature and the elements and the pixies and the fairies and all that is life. And you end up hearing the bird calls from, an acre away that are just calling you to entangle and co-create. And so this is a higher frequency activation. And you can see the alignment of the chakras and the root. The root is grounding that earth energy. The finger chakras that allow all that we are as beings of holy light to come forward and play with nature and how our energy bodies entangle and be in oneness. But this is what it feels like for me when I get downloads or I'm out in nature, and I feel the galactic when I'm talking to my galactic teams, and I just feel these energies right behind my ears, and there's just pings and downloads, and these energies that are all, beautifully, placed around the head, allowing us to tune into what wasn't there a minute ago, but we're being activated and we're being enlightened and refined, if you will. So thank you. And that's what the new levels allow us to do. That she's traversed this new level that was material, and it was allowing the material wounds and the material energies. Now we're stepping into a new level where there's going to be new awakenings and downloads for us to interpret and for us to slow down. When we turn on our subtle bodies and the bodies and the energy fields that we have around us, we really have to slow ourselves down and interpret the information, because it's at a much faster, higher oscillating pace. Its sound and its volume and its not necessarily volume. We will hear it as volume because the more attuned we get. But they're vibrational songs. They're vibrational songs, and so it will be quite different. And that's why we allow our bodies time to relax and rest, and our bodies time to regenerate and rejuvenate. It's really needed because we're getting turned on at such a high level that we'll have to process it and integrate what we're getting and what we're living through. So that's what I found when my subtle body was turned on. I was going through I was going through all of these, these fidgets. I still do if there's somebody new that I haven't, been familiar with. I'll still act, my body will still, harmonize, with their energy field. Or if I'm in a place where there's lots of people, I have to train my body to sanctuary mode because everything is just heightened and turned on, and I can even sense it when I'm driving. If I'm driving beside, somebody, and I can sense the energies. And so it's just a matter of refining and tuning in and really grounding into that sanctuary center. What do we have next? We'll go to this one, respect. This is the Nine of Bowls. We've had this one before in our Shamanic story. And we really see this as really resonant of Sylvanas. This is the male frequency, and he's all about, the respect that he's gained through his journeys. And you can see the bows back here that have been laid up for a space of home. That number 4 frequency is all about stability. And so he's gained his stability. He's pulling back the brush and the canvas of the earth. He's ready to step forward. He's very determined. And he's earned it. He's earned it through whatever frequencies that he's come from. You see the brush that's behind here. It's not lush at all. It's very dry. It's very worn. It's very weathered. And he's still, there's nothing stopping him. He's full on in honor of who his story is, the story he's come to portray to himself. Nothing will stop him. He has his one bow. That's all he needs. And he's pulling back the brush, and he's ready. He's in his most balanced stance, and he's ready for whatever is coming next. And he has the antlers on his head for everything that he's been through, as far as the garnering of the heavens above to the earth below, and how to traverse it through the honoring and respecting of who you are within nature and with what you're here to accomplish and traverse. And sometimes it's not easy. You've got to go against the grain. You've got to allow yourself the opportunity to say, that doesn't resonate with me, or I'm going to stand up and I'm going to be who I am. Whether others will be pleased with it or happy with it, I'm here to traverse my path. And I honor and respect my path, and I honor and respect the path that I've been on. And I don't have to answer to kind of curtail or sacrifice my right to satisfy anyone. But you have to go through those journeys of self-knowing. And it's been so many times that, we feel that giving up that 9 of bows is often just before we get to that final step on the journey. And it's just, my teams have, so many times rang in, don't give up. It's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. Because there's divine timing in all things, because you're threaded with so many beings. And their light and your success and their success are all sewn together, and you all need one another. And this is what this planetary ascension is all about. There is no us and them. It's about all of us pulling everybody and allowing everybody to awaken. But knowing that you still have the right, in your own honor and respect for who you are, to say, this is my journey. And if I don't take this step, then you're not going to see the strength and the empowerment that you perhaps need to see, because following through on what has always been done never allows for growth. I must move in my own way. And those that move in their own way, those mavericks, those ones that do set the new path and pull back the grains to step forward anew, they're the ones that show others that they can stand in their truth, that they can release the fear, that they can let go of the paradigms, they can let go of the old patterns. We can begin anew, in honoring and respecting of all life, respecting everyone's journey. If you're respecting your journey, then you follow your heart, and you are you have that higher calling and that higher voice that you are responsible for. You and your higher self, or that team, that source creator, you answer to a higher calling. So if you're not moving on it, but allowing yourself to succumb to the wants and the needs and the cries of all others, then you're not moving as far as your higher self's calling. And there will be many people that will have to step forward and start new and begin new and start in whole new different journeys and genres, because their hearts and their souls are calling for it. But because they've been so stuck in the patterning, afraid to step outside the norm, afraid to step out familial roles or familial traditions, that they keep holding themselves back. And they become themselves, they become this space where it's dry and it's desolate, because it's not being nourished by the spirit of the soul. It's not being nourished by the soul's calling. It's not being nourished by the soul's expression. So this is why it's really important that we all step forward and respect all that we are in our own path, so that we can show others that your path is unique. Your calling will be unique, and when you fully awaken, you will take your unique steps, and I will honor you and I will support you. But these are my unique steps, and this is how I must move. But it takes, you have to know yourself, know thyself and know what your soul is calling you to do. You're always given synchronicities, and allowing yourself to honor and respect all that you are makes it more enjoyable. You're here to enjoy yourself. Because when you do respect and honor yourself, you're given clearance. You're being shown the way to your own celebratory fire. You're saying, this doesn't suit me anymore. I'm letting go. And this fire represents the alchemy of shifting what no longer serves through the passions of all that you are. Now heeding your call with passion. Stand in your truth. Each one of these bows are representative of, what is my truth now? What is my truth? And what is my passion? I'm going to set forward and I'm going to fly into the air. Those are the intentions. Those are the initiations. I'm initiating myself into the universe. I'm initiating my wishes and my dreams. I'm meant to ignite my own passions. I'm meant to be that spark with the divine. And I will arise my own fire. And I will be that phoenix that arises once again. This is how we give ourselves clearance. We give it to ourselves. We initiate ourselves. We are always given free will and always given free choice. We can hold ourselves back, yes. And we can sabotage ourselves at every step of the way. But at some point, we will awaken, and we will say, I can't do this anymore. I need to follow what my heart is saying. And I'm going to set every one of these bows into the air with celebration and with joy, because this is who I'm meant to be. I am meant to be free and passionate about who I am, and I will express myself. Because I know in that expression, I serve the greater good. I serve the all, and all will be nourished. Thank you. I just love those cards. They're so beautiful. And the next one, that came out, because we feel frustrated at times. We feel frustrated about all of the times that we've fallen, and we've fallen in front of people and they've laughed, or we've allowed ourselves to succumb to others' whims and others' controls and others' wants for us and needs for us, and they cause great frustration. That frustration is that friction between what you know as your heart and your soul to be true for you, and how you want to explore yourself and how you want to express yourself, to the needs of what you feel are the illusions and the masks that say you must be subjugated to a certain role or behavior to fit in. And at every level, this is what we're all moving through, is releasing the minor and the major subjugations and the illusions that we thought we had to do anything to fit in, that we're completely in alignment with who we are. Those frustrations aren't put on us by anybody else but us. When we're not living within our truth, we're not following our highest path, or we're not singing when we need to sing and dancing when we need to dance, and we're not allowing our spirit and our higher self to be our highest authority. And that's when the frustration sets in. And that's when we do succumb to outside battles, because we feel like we have to prove ourselves to other people, and we don't. We only need to allow our voice to be expressed, our creative gifts to be expressed, and all is well. And those are the illusions of separation. They've always been illusions. It's because we haven't been following our own truth. Because when we do follow our own truth, it's the stories that are coming in. So what's coming into me right now is that from the heavens, we're offered gifts, and we're offered wisdoms, and you see the light that's coming down from the heavens, and the birthing of the children that's coming. New beginnings. They found themselves a new home. They found themselves new foundations to believe in and to align with a higher truth and higher values of who they are. Because you can see the light also coming from the bottom, which is the foundational energy. But what's being offered to me here is the ancestors and the heavens offering these beautiful feathered symbols that are being dropped from the heavens to say that You are entering into great times of great promise. Are you recognizing it? Are you allowing yourself to honor these new beginnings? Are you allowing yourself to truly honor your values and your honor system of who you are? What foundations are you creating for yourself in these new beginnings? What promises do you hold with your planet, with who you are? And allowing yourself to know that there's a great coming together, there's a great gathering of many peoples, of many tribes, of many ancestors, of many lineage that you've been clearing. And the heavens are blessing us in every way. The universe is blessing us in every way, that every time we create those intentions, every time we create those heartfelt spears into the universe, those initiations where you say, especially with the new moons, these are my now intentions, these are my ceremonies of who I am in truth. This is what I choose to create for myself. This is what I choose to experience, express, and explore of who I am in spirit. That's when the promise and the beginnings come forward, because you've initiated. It has to come from you. It has to come from your truth to say, this is my new beginning. I desire this to be my promise of myself because I'm worthy of it. I respect and I honor my path, and I choose to help all others that so desire, knowing that they have their unique path as well. And there's blessings from all directions. You see that the light's coming from all directions. They're moving forward into this light of promise. This is where many are, through the creation of these new foundations, we're moving into new light. We're moving into new gateways. We're being blessed from above, below, in all corners. And it's great promise, if you're allowing yourself to acknowledge it. If you're allowing yourself to recognize where you allow yourself forgiveness and allow forgiveness of all others, where you allow yourself to ask for forgiveness, where you've held others wrong and you've held yourself in wrong. Because forgiveness is a spiraling experience. Forgiveness allows, I posted on Facebook yesterday as I was just thinking in reflection about some experiences that I'd been through. And I was thinking about the depth that forgiveness holds in our transformation. And forgiveness really humbles the ego, because it takes great strength and it takes great authenticity to say sorry and to apologize. Anyone can say sorry, but when it's done from that soul level, you will know, and it will be alchemized. Because there's a difference. I heard something on one of the kids' shows the other day, and one of the lines in the movie was, "It's just words. Words don't mean anything," and words absolutely do. And this is where we've gotten out of the understanding of how powerful we are as creators. We've allowed ourselves to become so mundane with what we say and what we feel because we've lost our connection with spirit. Our words are a representation of who we are as spirit. Our actions, our behavior, are a representation of who we are as spirit. And what has become so steeped in tradition, because it's been so steeped in control and limitation and fear, that people have gotten so used to just saying things in repetitive ways that it's forgetting that link with spirit. And that's where the alchemy never takes place, because it's an alchemic frequency, as we talked about yesterday in our video. That when you feel it in the pit of your soul and you're making that soulful connection of who you are at your core, you feel that alchemy. When you're truly sorry and you've truly allowed yourself to forgive at the level of your soul, then it alchemizes and it shifts. Simply saying sorry and not feeling it are two different things. And so this is why it does quite humble the ego, because the ego says, I'm coming forward with my highest and my best to say, I truly apologize for this. I feel it within my soul on how I wronged you and how those words were spoke out of turn. And this is what I was feeling. And I'm sorry that I hurt you. And I'm sorry because it hurts me that I hurt you. Those energies of complete, soulful ignition, that alchemizes. And it's felt at a soul level. So getting back into the habit of, I often offer to my kids, allow yourself to think before whatever comes out of your mouth comes out. Truly think, is this serving myself and all others and what I'm about to say? Allowing yourself to show yourself the responsibility and the respect that your words are your representation of spirit. Your words are your representation of who you are as a soul. And is it going to serve? Or are you just offering the words that you're saying because you think it's what needs to be said? And that's really living from, falsities and ego. That's not serving anybody, and that's just going around in falsities, and you'll continue to create a false reality. Because the spirit knows, those that are tuned in and those that are truly walking the path of spirit can sense and intuitively know what's being said. And this is why so many relationships and transitions are occurring, because those that are awakened understand surface level experiences and soulful experiences. And that's okay. That's meant to occur. We have to move in the vibration of where we're harmonizing. And that allows the spirit to grow. So what I was shown is that we're constantly harmonizing in higher vibrations of beliefs, soulful values, what are our values, and practicing them, releasing and letting go, forgiving. But that's all part of the clearing and the healing process. But then you've got to start behaving as if. You got to act as if this respected, this beautiful being here. She's acting as if. She holds that staff and she holds that sword with honor. She holds that with purpose. When she says something that's with honor and purpose, she knows it. She's experienced it. When she says sorry, every bone in your body and every cell in your body knows it. So these are the new realities of oneness and absolute allness that we're now coming to the attention of. And so why our relationships are changing, because we can tell, as we all know, we can tell discernment, the intuitive gifts that were honored, is, one of the gifts is discernment. Can you discern what's true for you right before you? There's no judgment about what's being said by whom before you, but your intuitive gifts allow you to say, does this feel right for me? And if not, you just move on. If not, you just say, I'm going to turn my attention over here now. And those that are allowing yourselves that awakening of who you are in spirit are allowing yourselves to be more truthful with your words, allowing yourselves to be more honest and honorable with your words, with your behaviors, because it matters. You feel good, when you're allowing yourself to stand truthful in who you are, everybody around you knows it. And they feel it. They feel that responsibility also to be truthful within themselves. And we say responsibility not in the way that it's meant in our collective, not the way that it's meant in our socio frequencies, because it's usually tied to outdated systems of fear and control. We say responsibility is the responsibility you have with your soul and your spirit to walk as who you are in spirit. If your spirit feels like singing, you're responsible to sing. Go for it. That's what we mean by responsibility, because your spirit wants you to be honest with who you are. That's walking in your authenticity. That's setting a new foundation for truth, your new foundation for your higher vibrational life. You can't get there unless you're pulling away all the stuff that no longer fits anymore. Every falsity and every half-truth doesn't fit, because truth is truth. And so it's allowing us to come forward in a higher truth, because our planet needs it. We need it. Our collective needs truth, to be completely transparent and be okay with it. We're all one, nothing to hide. Let's come forward, let's forgive, let's move on, and let's carry on at a higher frequency of truth, and so, yeah. So we're gonna go to, let's go with these ones. And because these stories about you can see the transitions of the park-like settings now. And these are both journey cards. These are both journey in your strength and in your power, to know that you'll always be protected and guided by the higher vibrational energy as you're walking these new paths. By knowing that you have the ever eternal energies of family, you'll have the ever eternal energies of your circle, of your guardians. And you can come out from hiding. You can come out from understanding of what was or was not okay. And you can come forward and say, that's what I thought. I did the best I could with what I had, but now I truly want to live within my own soul's truth and power. And I'm going to walk with the courage of this. I'm going to walk with the strength of this, because I know it's source creator. Always not walking in front of me, but with me side by side, foot by foot, hand in hand. Because we're the ones that are creating our lives through our choices and through who we are. And in that, we get to play. We get to play at a new level. We get to play as the pixies and the fairies that we are, traversing new pathways, traversing new park-like settings, if you will. And there will always be things for us to dart in and out of, but now do it joyfully and playfully. And we're allowing our wings to come to life. We're allowing our wings to carry us, because we've earned it. We've earned that majesty of who we are. And we've got these two beautiful cards, the bat spirit and the rabbit spirit. Because when we're living within our authenticity, The authenticity every moment is a rebirth, because we're always changing a deeper level of truth. But as many of the masters have said, the path to the many heavens is through that narrow pathway of who you are in your truth. It's about your truth. And that truth is honoring of all life, is the respecting of all life, and standing within that truth, being honest in every moment. The more honest you are, the more empowered and strength that you have within you to rebirth yourself anew, because you know what truth is. We are always eternal beings with light and love. When we're honoring that truth, we're walking forward as the archangels. That's the angelic presence of selfless service, because we understand truth. We understand that the universe will always provide. We understand the universe will always back us. We understand that we will always have what we need when we need it. We understand that there will always be luck provided to us. That's your truth. When you're honoring it and walking in that, you create that reality. It's not maybe it'll happen, but no, it's a truth. My truth is I am supported hand in hand, foot in foot, heart to heart, and source. I am as my name is. I walk as that truth. That truth is not just a knowing, or not just a belief system, because belief systems can change and alter. No, your truth is always your truth. You are infinite. That's a truth. You are eternal. That's a truth. You are filled with light. You are light. That's a truth. How you embody that light, how you express that light, how you explore that light and experience that light changes, because you do. You're eternal. That's still a truth. And all else are their illusions. We're one within this truth. We are eternal, one family of light and love. We are eternal. We are all infinite. We are held in the hands and the heart of Source. As Source is within, we are with Source. All things, always. Those are truths, if you so desire. And in walking in that, we absolutely create the truths that are the foundations and the realities that we co-create with them, because it's all light. We co-create within that lighted truth that we honor all life. We honor the paths of all others in whatever lessons and stories they're ready to explore and experience. And we also have our truth to walk in our own authentic voice, our own authentic truth, and co-create and express ourselves in honoring of that truth. And it's so lucky. That's when all moments become miracles. And we can always go forward, create new beginnings, because it's all miraculous. I always tell my kids I can make a song out of anything. We're going forward, and we're seeing this. Our path is always lit. You see here that we're coming from light and we're going to light. every step along the way is light. It's the truth, and it's all miraculous, if we so choose. My teams have told me to say there's always love presented before you if you're ready to perceive it. Are you ready? Are you ready to know that you are truth in love and light and eternal infinite bliss? That's the path. That's the seeking. That's the seeking and finding. What are you ready for? Whatever you're ready for will be presented when you call it forward. What are you ready to shoot into the air for your initiation and your ceremony and your new moon energy, to call forward and say, this is what I'm ready for, bring it on. And I will stand and I will face it, and I will stand and I will honor it, and I will bow in reverence and humility. For I understand that I've come from light and I return to light. It's ever going forward. You might not seem it, because you get knocked down sometimes and you get pulled back sometimes, or sometimes you succumb to others' energies and you get caught up in all the negativity and the spiraling energies of their fears. But that's when you've got to discern for yourself, how am I compromising my light? How am I compromising my voice and my song for others? It's time for me to pull back and start walking in my own way, start shining my own light, start becoming my own miracle, start putting my own initiation into the world, because your choice of who you choose to believe yourself at the center of who you are, you're creating your reality. And right now, because there's so much going on in our world, it can be quite daunting. I get it. I've been holding myself back for a couple of years, because I've been, sorting out in my own mind, the familial roles and the familial patterns and the lineage that I'm letting go of and I'm transcending, because I'm here to walk through light, and I'm here to create and carve and help others. And I can't do that if I'm never moving. I can't do that if I'm never changing. I can't do that if I'm stagnant in other people's energies. I've got to move forward, and I've got to be the best that I can be in carving and harmonizing a new frequency of light. And we always need those inspirations. We always need those new, we've all gone through moments where we change the cycles and the circles of energies that we're spiraling within, because it needs to change. It needs to become more fruitful. We all need that mix up. We got to mix it up sometimes. You know, that's how we change. That's how we become more of who we become. You're meant to touch the hearts of many. The light is felt throughout creation. And we all must know that change is the only constant. And why can't it be fun and exciting? Why can't we all challenge ourselves to go in our own unique ways? Why can't we empower and inspire each other to go in all our own unique ways? Why can't we change tradition to become the best of what was and something the best of that is? Why can't we honor Gaia in greater ways? Why can't we create foundations that are truly about all people, about all life, about the foundations of how beautiful and how miraculous God truly is living through us? And so we offer you those inspirations. And thank you to Gaia for supporting us in all the ways that she does and allowing us to see the beauty of all that she is. Let's take a look at that beautiful rose. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Gaia. So thank you to all of you for joining us for the beautiful shamanic story the day before our beautiful new moon in Taurus. And may you set beautiful, loving traditions for yourself, and honoring Gaia, honoring your path in all ways, in your rebirth and in your miraculous new ways that you become, the lucky inspirations that you find for yourself, the lucky blessings that Source blesses you with, that Gaia blesses you with, and honoring all relationships that stand before you, even the ones that feel stagnant, even the ones that feel inappropriate. Honor it and allow yourself to drop to your heart and reflect upon what is your heart truly allowing you to see, to say, to be blessed from, and accessing a higher truth, and accessing something that is truly now for you. And then allowing yourself the courage that you know how to move on, that you can call in help from others, that you can call in help from the universe, and know that you have a tribe that supports you and honors you in all ways. And knowing that we're here for each other, we're here for all that we are as a human ascending being on this beautiful planet that is Gaia. And we thank and we give great thanks and blessings to Gaia in all the ways that she has supported us. And we open up our new 5D frequencies and consciousness templates to support us in many, many, many eons to come, as we open into our full, eternal, infinite Christic light. And in this, we wish you namaste. Bye. Happy Earth Day.